Hey, John here with Real Hard Reviews. Today, we've got another air cooler on our hands, and today we have the Reeven E12 RGB. This $29 little air cooler looks a lot like the Cooler Master 212, but outperforms it in every way possible, even on price. $29.99, 2-year warranty, and let's just get right into it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's open her up and have ourselves a look. So, first and foremost, specs wise, overall dimensions, we're looking at a width of 126, a diameter of 80, and a height of 152 with the fan installed. So, it's relatively a smaller cooler, and that's not too bad. It has a decibel rating of 9 to 18.5. Again, not bad at all. And a nicer fan than some of the other ones we've looked at recently, a 500 to 1500 RPM fan. So, that's great. And with the fan, the total weight is 550 grams. Relatively light. Nothing wrong with that. The box looks nice, flashy, doesn't look cheap. Looks like a Cooler Master box, to be honest. Got the accessories out of the way, the install guide. And I'm going to install this, and we're going to test the RGB together here in a little bit. There's our little install guide. Very simple, nice to see. We're going to install this on X99 rig because it's the only one I got with RGB left here. That's the Reeven fan right there. Looks nice. Looks a lot like the Scythe, which Reeven and Scythe work hand in hand together, so that's very cool to see. It's got the little RGB header off there, and a nice but basic slaved power management fan. Cool. Nothing else in there. Cooler itself is right there. We'll put that aside. Let's see what we got for accessories before we jump into that fan. Alright. Everything in one bag. Can't go wrong. So, we got all our cables, all our adapters and everything else, screws, some covers. Cool. Oh, I see what those little black covers are to clip onto here so that it keeps it some distance from your board. Nothing grounds bad. So Reeven does something Scythe did, and a lot of other companies need to learn. They included enough to make a push-pull setup, even if it's just a single fan. I like that. I think it's one from us. So, this is a little Reeven cooler. I think I got a Scythe one here to show that they are one and the same. I think I do anyways. Or I had one. Right there. Looks strangely familiar, but then compound is compound, so that's cool. Does come with a nice thing of compound, so you can reuse it and have some extra. Now for the cooler. Oh, look at that. Very nice cooler. Tear the film before use, so. Oh, nice and smooth. Nice finish to it. I like the direct copper heat pipes on the cooler itself. Looks very easy to assemble. Good quality. Nothing flashy like you had on the Scythe or the Ninja or anything like that, or the Mugen. It's just Reeven. Looks good. With that, let's do a quick install and I'll jump right into the review itself. So as we power through the install here, remember, number one rule, always check the guide. Every cooler is a little different than the other one you've tried last time, but they're all pretty damn easy to install. This one particularly, the E12, being a dead cinch and coming with a great backplate, so if you have lost your AM4 backplate, I know some people have done it and I don't know how, I was one of them, you can now use the backplate included with this and you are all good to go. So, install's really easy, 4 bolts, put the plate on, then drop the cooler on, put the 4 bolts over top of the 2 plates, all thumb screws, really simple. You can use a screwdriver if you've already got a video card or something else in, or if you're installing this on a pre-existing system and you got to work around stuff. But Other than that, really easy install. So with that, I'm gonna jump right into the review while I finish on the install. So let's do this backwards. Acoustics results. When testing the acoustics on this, there's only really two coolers that you should care about. The red line being the Reeven E12 and the kind of neon green line being the Cooler Master 212 Evo. As you can see, running from the stock 800, which is the slowest RPM on these fans, all the way up to the maximum 1500, we max out at about 37, 38 decibels, completely destroying the Cooler Master, running at about 44. So with that, you can see you have a great cooler in the way of silence, but silence isn't everything. Let's take a look at the testing results right now. Now we do, again, a little more backwards than usual, as we usually do Intel first. We are going to look at all the Ryzen results. We have 3 tests. First, Ryzen stock. Using the stock fans at the 800 RPM, we are seeing a total temperature of about 55 degrees. Not too terrible, not too bad. And then once the fans crank up to their maximum curve at 1500 RPM, we are looking at a total degrees of about 35. Not bad at all. This is pretty phenomenal for the price, considering that its competitor, the Cooler Master 212 Evo, is sitting at about 40 degrees and running about 250 RPM higher. Now overclocking our Ryzen 1700 to 4.1 gigahertz, we are seeing 81 degrees on the stock lowest speed, and cranking it up to the 1500, which is still quite audibly silent, we are sitting at about 65 degrees. Not bad at all. And again, as you can see on the chart in front of you, it is beating the Cooler Master 212 Evo once more. So let's jump into our final test for the day, the dual fan maximum cooling performance. Now, as you can see, throwing a second fan on there, we drop temperatures by about 5 degrees, seeing at about 75 at the lowest RPM and sitting at about 61 at the highest. And that's only 1500 RPM. Still, push-pull on both setups on the Cooler Master as well as the Reeven and the E12 is still hands down destroying the Cooler Master. And with that, we end off our review of the Reeven E12 RGB, ranging from $29.99 to $35.99 or $34.99 if you're in Canada or the US, and a little cheaper too, about $5 off if you're going with the non-RGB edition. I recommend going with the RGB edition just for that extra $5 because it is a phenomenal cooler. It does look beautiful. It does work with almost any RGB controller on the market today and doesn't put you back very far. Does it beat the 212 from Cooler Master, the #1 recommended low-cost cooler? Yeah, because Cooler Master keeps jacking the price up on that thing. So, specs-wise, beats it. Performance-wise, it beats it. RGB, it beats it. It just looks great. It is a phenomenal cooler for anybody looking for a value cooler. With that, I am John with Real Hardware Reviews. Thank you so much to all of our fantastic Patreons, all the people who are hitting up our forum, as well as commenting, liking, subscribing, hitting the bell. And with that, hit any of the other videos sitting right here. Make sure to check out all of our social media, again, our Patreon, and our affiliate link in the description below. And you guys just have yourself an epic day. Goodbye.